chairperson and the vice chairpersons. To address the concerns in the membership and leadership of committees, the Committee on Selection was mandated to reconstitute the membership of all the committees in a communication by the Honorable Speaker delivered on Friday, 20th January 2023 during a special sitting. Number 7, Mr. Speaker, the Committee on Selection that was constituted on 5th October 2022 was maintained, and its composition is as follows. Now, due to the leadership, the chairperson is Honorable Philip Rono, Gilbert Ngetich, Martin Cheruyot, Albert Kipkoech, Richard Langat, Ezron Kimweno, Peter Kemoy, Honorable Beatrice Chepkemoy, and Honorable Eric B. The nomination process. In the reconstitution of the Assembly committees, the Committee on Selection adopted the following criteria. Number 1, members' wishes. Number 2, need to ensure regional balance. Number C, gender balance. Number D, perceived strength of the committees. Number E, sectoral versus House committees. F, leadership positions in the House and the County Assembly Service Board. G, the last 2 adopted committee lists. And H, members' profession. The committee was also guided by the Constitution, Standing Orders, and the County Government Act 2012. Number 9, Mr. Speaker, the Committee on Selection further noted that the current placement of members in committees was an extraordinary duty that called for extraordinary measures since it was the 3rd in a period of 4 months. The committee invoked the provisions of the Kericho County Assembly Standing Order 169-1 and 2, which state as follows. 1, in nominating members, that is actually, I think, members, you can refer to your Standing Order number 169-1 and 2. 1, it says, in nominating members to serve in a select committee, the selection committee shall ensure that the membership of each committee reflects the relative majorities of the seats held by each of the assembly parties in the assembly. Number 2, despite paragraph 1, a member belonging to a party other than an assembly party or independent member may be nominated to serve in select committee, and the allocation of membership of the select committee shall be as nearly as practicable proportional to the number of members belonging to such parties and independent members. Number 10, despite the above provisions, the Committee on Selection, in the spirit of togetherness and the need to bring lasting unity in the Assembly, ensure that all honorable members were placed to serve in committees. The committee, however, resolved to have the majority party members take the leadership of committees while considering regional balance and proportionate representation in the 6 sub-counties. 11, the committee, in consultation with the majority party, further considered the need to have every member actively participating in committees by allocating them responsibilities as chairpersons, vice chairpersons, and members of the speaker's panel. 12, considering the fallout that characterizes any competitive election and the need to seal out the perceived differences, the committee, in consultation with the House leadership and the majority party, resolved not to subject the honorable members to a further election, save for Committee on Budget and Appropriation Committee that is composed of all elected members, as this could bring further divisions in case of a loss in committee elections. Committee observations. The committee observed the following. 1, that all honorable members have been placed to have responsibilities in committees as chairpersons, vice chairpersons, or members of the speaker's panel. Number 2, that as much as practicable, the Committee on Selection ensured regional and gender balance in the placement of members to committees. Number 3, that change in House leadership led to changes in membership of certain committees whose membership is determined by the House leadership, such as Committee on Selection and Appointments. Number 4, that the standing order specs the number of sectoral committees assigned to a member to a maximum of 3. Committee recommendations. In view of the committee's considerations and observations, and pursuant to County Assembly Standing Order 167, the committee nominates the following members to serve in the following different committees as members and committees leadership. Number 1, Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries. Honorable Ciele Julius will serve in that committee as a chairperson. Honorable Kimoy Petris will serve in that committee as the vice chairperson. And then the membership of this committee will be Honorable Eric Pate, Honorable Jeruyat Pate, Honorable Anthony Ruto, Honorable Terer Francis, Honorable Kimweno Kirui, Honorable Langat Richard, and number 9, Honorable Rogon Kiprotich. Health Services. Honorable B. Eric will serve in that committee as the chairperson. Honorable Rotich Moses will serve in that committee as the vice chairperson. Honorable Kipkoech Albert will be, these are the members now of this committee. Honorable Kipkoech Albert, Honorable Maritim David, Honorable Isaac Metkei, Honorable Tonui Edina, Honorable Mutai Dominic, Honorable Ngetich Gilbert, and Honorable Philip Rono. Number 3, Youth, Culture and Social Services. Honorable Anthony Ruto will serve as the chairperson. Honorable Kimweno Girui will serve as the vice chairperson of that committee, and the membership, Honorable Kimoy Peter, Honorable Koskei Vincent, Honorable Pile Noela, and number 6, I think you will change this in your papers. Actually, it was a typo. Honorable number 6 is Honorable Philip Mutai. Number 7 is Honorable Evelyn Chebogen. Number 8 is Honorable Chemweno Gabriela. And number 9 is Honorable Edina Tonui. Public Works, Roads and Transport Committee. Honorable Kilban Ngetich will serve in that committee as the chairperson. Honorable Bol P will serve in that committee as the vice chairperson. Membership, Honorable Aaron Rotich, Honorable Kipkoech Albert, Honorable Chirchir Paul, Honorable Ngetich Ezron, Honorable Rotich Moses, Honorable Ciele Julius, Honorable Chebogen Evelyn. Justice and Legal Affairs. This committee will be chaired by Honorable Koskei Simon. Honorable Birir Amos will serve in the committee as the vice chairperson. Honorable Eric Bate, Honorable Korir Fancy, Honorable Bill People, Honorable Kirui Vincent, Honorable Rotich Moses, Honorable Ngetich Ezron, and Honorable Dr. Naam Mandrop. Lands, Housing and Physical Planning. Honorable Ngetich Ezron will serve in that committee as the chairperson. Honorable Dominic Mutai will serve in that committee as the vice chairperson. Honorable Korir Vincent, Honorable Aaron Rotich, Honorable Bafina Serem, Honorable Eric B. Eric, Honorable Jeruyat Martin, Honorable Kimweno Kirui, and Honorable Kirui Vincent. Education and Child Welfare. This committee will be chaired by Honorable Beth Jeruyat, and actually it will be deputized, or the vice chairperson of this committee will be Honorable Korir Matthew. The members will be Honorable Basuben Hilary, Honorable Koskei Simon, Honorable Mutai Philip, Honorable Dr. Naam Mandrop, Honorable Keino Dora, Honorable Langat Irene, and Honorable Pate Gladys. Governance, Labor and Social Welfare. This committee will be chaired by Honorable Francis Terer, and it will be the vice chairperson of this committee will be Honorable Chemweno Gabriela. The third one, membership, Honorable Masi Kikonyo, Honorable Irene Langat, Honorable B. Paul, Honorable Koske Simon, Honorable Opile Noela, Honorable Jepkemo Epitris, and Honorable Langat Winnie. Finance and Economic Planning. This committee will be chaired by Honorable Pasuben Hilary, and it will be deputized, or the vice chairperson of this committee will be Honorable Opile Noela. The membership of this committee is Honorable Pate Eric, Honorable Chirchir Paul, Honorable Birir Amos, Honorable Mibei Anita, Honorable Kiprotich Rogon, Honorable Jemweno Jessica, Honorable Jelangat Monica. Water, Energy and Sanitation. This committee will be chaired by Honorable Kemoy Peter. The vice chairperson of this committee will be Honorable Sirma Lily. The membership of this committee are Honorable Korir Vincent, Honorable Cherian Martin, Honorable Korir Matthew, Honorable Mibei Anita, Honorable Dr. Anna Mandrop, Honorable Korir Fancy, and Honorable Anthony Ruto. Environment, Forestry and Natural Resources. I think this one is not full. It should be actually Environment, Energy, Forestry and Natural Resources. This committee will be chaired by Honorable Langat Richard, and vice chairperson of this committee is Honorable Kikonyo Masi. The committee members are Honorable Gabriela Chemweno, Honorable Maritim David, Honorable Anita Mibei, Honorable Koskei Vincent, Honorable Matkei Isaac, Honorable Keino Dora, and Honorable Langat Irene. Trade and Industrialization. This committee will be chaired by Honorable Cheruyot Martin. The vice chairperson of this committee will be Honorable Chemweno Jessica. The membership of this committee are Honorable Terer Francis, Honorable Kemoy Peter, Honorable Langat Richard, Honorable Kiprotich Rogon, Honorable Koskei Vincent, Honorable Langat Winnie, and Honorable Sirma Lily. Cooperative Management, Tourism and Wildlife. This committee will be chaired by Honorable Mutai Philip, and it will be deputized, or vice chairperson of this committee is actually Honorable Beth Gladys. The membership are Honorable Rono Philip, Honorable Korir Fancy, Honorable Serem Pafina, Honorable Birir Amos, Honorable Kikonyo Masi, Honorable Tonu Yadina, Honorable Jelangat Monica. Number 14, Research, Information Technology and E-Government. This committee will be chaired by Honorable Kirui Vincent, and the vice chairperson of this committee will be Honorable Winnie Langat. The membership are Honorable Serem Bafina, Honorable Korir Matthew, Honorable Beth Gladys, Honorable Jessica Chemweno, Honorable Sirma Lily, Honorable Mutai Dominic, and Honorable Korir Vincent. Number 15, Budget and Appropriation Committee. Honorable Albert Kipkoech, Honorable Anita Cherono Mibei, Honorable Vincent Kipkirui Korir, Honorable Richard Cheruyot, Honorable Kiproti Rogon, Honorable David Kipkorir Maritim, Honorable Simon Koske, Honorable Philip Rono, Honorable Ezron Kimweno, Honorable Moses Cheruyot, Honorable Anthony Ruto, Honorable Paul Kipyegon Chirchir, Honorable Cheruyot Pet, Honorable Martin Kiplangat, Honorable Eric Kipkurui Pet, Honorable Philip Kimweno Mutai, Honorable Paul Kipto B, Honorable Kilbat Kiprop Ngetich, Honorable Kimweno Kirui, Honorable Francis Kiplanga Terer, Honorable Vincent Kimweno Kirui, Honorable Hilary Kibet Pasuben, Honorable Amos Kimutai Birir, Honorable Dominic Kipkirui Mutai, Honorable Julius Kipkorir Siele, Honorable Aaron Kipkemoy Rotich, Honorable Matthew Kipkirui Korir, Honorable Peter Kibet Kemoy, Honorable Eric Kipro B, and Honorable Dr. Naaman Kipsigei Rob. Committee on Implementation. This committee will be chaired by Honorable Dr. Naaman Rob, and Honorable Isaac Matker will be the vice chairperson of that committee. The membership of that committee are Honorable Cheruyot Page, Honorable Anthony Ruto, Honorable Kilbert Ngetich, Honorable Philip Rono, Honorable Beatrice Chepkemoy, Honorable Evelyn Chebogen, and Honorable Haron Rotich. Powers and Privileges Committee. This committee will be chaired by Honorable Speaker himself, Honorable Dr. Patrick Mutai, and Vice Chairperson is Honorable Evelyn Chebogen. Membership of Powers and Privileges Committee, Honorable Eric Pate, Honorable Fancy Korir, Honorable Bafina Serem, Honorable Paul Chirchir, Honorable Philip Rono, Honorable Anita Mibei, and Honorable Aaron Rotich. This basically, the leadership of the County Assembly constitutes that committee of powers. Number 18, Public Accounts and Investment Committee. The chairperson of this committee is Honorable Vincent Korir. The vice chairperson of this committee is Honorable Monica Chelangat. Members are Honorable Albert Kipkoech, Honorable Eric B., Honorable Paul Chirchir, Honorable Hilary Basuben, Honorable Gabriela Chemweno, Honorable Julia Siele, and Honorable Keino Dora. Delegated County Legislation Committee. This committee will be chaired by Honorable David Maritim, and the vice chairperson of this committee is Honorable Edina Tonui. The membership of this committee are Honorable Fancy Korir, Honorable Bafina Serem, Honorable Vincent Koskei, Honorable Opile Noela, Honorable Isaac Metker, Honorable Gibroti Dogon, and Honorable Bansi Gikonyo. Procedures and Rules Committee will be actually chaired by Honorable Speaker, that is Honorable Dr. Patrick Mutai, and the vice chairperson of this committee is Honorable Vincent Koskei. The members of this committee are Honorable Dora Keino, Honorable Edina Tanui, Honorable Paul Chirchir, Honorable Winnie Langat, Honorable Anita Mibei, and Honorable Evaline Chebwogen. And finally, Honorable Gladys Pate. House Business Committee will be chaired by the Speaker, that is Honorable Dr. Patrick Mutai, and this committee vice chairperson will be Honorable Irene Langat. Members are Honorable Philip Rono, Honorable Moses Rotich, Honorable Winnie Langat, Honorable Kimweno Girui. And here now, due to the typo letter, Honorable Dora Keino, number 7, and Honorable Cheriot Pate and Honorable Gladys Pate. Committee on Selection. Honorable Philip Rono is the chairperson of that committee. Honorable Gilbert Ngeti, member. Honorable Martin Cheruyot, Honorable Albert Kipkoech, Honorable Richard Langat, Honorable Esron Kimweno, Honorable Peter Kemoy, Honorable Beatrice Chepkemoy, and Honorable Eric B. Committee on Appointments will be chaired by Honorable Dr. Patrick Cheruyot Mutai, that is the chairperson, Honorable Philip Rono, Honorable Cheruyot Pate, Honorable Paul Chirchir, Honorable Rogon Kiprotich, Honorable Anthony Ruto, Honorable David Maritim, Honorable Anita Mibei, and Honorable Dominic Mutai. Speakers panel, this committee actually is chaired by the Speaker, Honorable Dr. Patrick Mutai, as the chairperson, Honorable Eric Pate, Honorable Paul Chirchir, Honorable Anita Mibei, Honorable Vincent Koskei, Honorable Dora Keino. 15, Mr. Speaker, the committee further recommends that an election for the chairperson of the Committee on Budget and Appropriation be held after adoption of this report by the House, with the first runners-up automatically assuming the position of the committee's vice chairperson, in order for everybody to have actually the responsibility allowance, Mr. Speaker. Number 5, Mr. Speaker, acknowledgement. The committee wishes to thank the officers of the Speaker and the clerk of the County Assembly for the necessary support extended to it in the execution of its mandate. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is my place and duty, pursuant to Standing Order 170, to present the report on the nominations of the members to different committees by the Committee on Selection for consideration by the House. It is actually signed by me, Mr. Speaker, and I chair the same session, Mr. Speaker. And before I actually invite Mheshimiwa Honorable Eric B., Mr. Speaker, to second the same, Mr. Speaker, I'm very sure, Mr. Speaker, that no one has been left out without any responsibility allowance, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I want to call upon Honorable Eric B. to second this motion, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
The Honorable Majority, as you take your seat before he seconds, I'm 100% sure that this committee on selection, having also your last statement, the Honorable Majority, is on the aspect of responsibility allowance. But I know the membership of these committees, whoever is the chair or the chairperson, should be able to deliver on his or her mandate effectively, because that is what the people expect from us as an assembly. I hope that should be very clear, because you all agree with me that sometimes we do charity work, and we may even decide not to be remunerated at some point in time. So what I'm just trying to put across is that as an assembly, we expect members who are the chairpersons and the vice chairpersons to take their work seriously. The Honorable Eric B, please second. Oh, thank you very much. You have seconded, okay. Honorable members, I now propose the question that this House adopts the report of the selection committee tabled by the majority leader, the Honorable Philip Rono, on the nomination of members to different committees. And honorable members, before I open the floor, let me refer you to your standing order number 170. I refer you to standing order number 170, section 2, which is very clear and says this: whenever a motion for approval of a list under paragraph 1 is moved in the assembly, no objection against the proposed membership of a member in a select committee shall be permitted, and objections, if any, shall be formulated against the proposed membership as a whole. So please be guided accordingly. As I now open the debate, and I open the floor for members to make their contribution. Thank you. The Honorable Paul Chirchir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me an opportunity to make my contribution on the motion, third report on the nomination of members to different committees. I rise to support the motion by the Honorable Majority Leader, Mr. Speaker, sir. Looking at the composition of each committee, the gender rule is very clear. The standing order number 170 is also very clear, Mr. Speaker, sir. Now, it is work. The strength of the assembly is in the committees. This assembly will be as strong as the committees, Mr. Speaker, sir. Our role as an assembly or as MCS, Mr. Speaker, sir, is very clear. That of oversight, representation, and legislation. We can only be able to do oversight through committees, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Committee on Finance, Mr. Speaker, sir, should take up their responsibility seriously, because the revenue targets, Mr. Speaker, sir, have not been met for the last 5 years. So I wish to congratulate our chair, the Honorable Hilary Basuben, and ask him that the task which is before him, Mr. Speaker, sir, is enormous, but he has our support as the committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is February. We have 2 more months to the close of financial year. We have this year's budget to implement between now and June. We have not been able to see any development being rolled out because of issues to do with chief officers. Now that the chief officers have been given rights, they do not have the luxury of time, and as committees, Mr. Speaker, sir, it's high time that we move with speed like yesterday, Mr. Speaker, sir. Roads, water projects, ECDs, name them. They have not been rolled out because of issues that have been addressed. Now, as committees, we'll be able to raise statements through the committees. So we hope to see statements from next week, where members will be raising statements in terms of work in our various wards. Otherwise, I wish to congratulate the Committee on Selection, led by our able majority leader, and tell them thank you very much for doing a good job. And now to the 47 members of this county assembly. let's put our differences behind us. Let us work as a team. When we succeed as an assembly. When we don't succeed, we do not succeed as an assembly. So the honors is on our side. So let us move with speed and make sure things are rolled out. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Paul Chirchir. The floor is open for members to contribute. Honorable members, I guess silence means concurrence. And I can see that everyone is smiling, so I must congratulate the majority leader. I think you did a very good work, and I haven't seen, I've not heard anyone complain on the same, but I want to highlight the what you did, especially on considering matters gender, regional balance. I think that is the way to go, and I therefore congratulate you and together with your committee on selection. So then, having no more contribution, I want to request the majority leader to reply so that we can put the question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mine is actually to thank the House, Mr. Speaker, for having trust in what we did, Mr. Speaker. My only urge, Mr. Speaker, to the members of various committees, Mr. Speaker, and actually a request also to your office, Mr. Speaker, is for all these members to run their work effectively, Mr. Speaker. I kindly request that your office arrange an induction on various committees immediately, Mr. Speaker, for these members to take up their work with actually the kind of experience and know, Mr. Speaker, on various committees. Mr. Speaker, the only challenges that I had is actually people think actually the committee on delegated and that is delegated county legislation, Mr. Speaker, is a dormant committee. But I want to assure them that we have several several legislations that has been passed, Mr. Speaker, from the county executive and the county assembly, Mr. Speaker, that has not been endorsed, Mr. Speaker, because of various or previous dormant chairpersons, Mr. Speaker, to the same committee, Mr. Speaker. I therefore also request that Honorable David Maritim, Mr. Speaker, will take us through, Mr. Speaker, reintroduce the same bills and policies, Mr. Speaker, that has not been passed, Mr. Speaker, but was actually drafted by the county executive, Mr. Speaker, for actually consideration by this House, Mr. Speaker. I want also, Mr. Speaker, to put a warning, Mr. Speaker, that our office will take seriously the issues of the chairpersons that actually will not be doing their work effectively, Mr. Speaker. And I want to assure you that actually, without even blinking my eye, that you will be de-whipped immediately if these members of your committee raises a lot of concerns based on your performance, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I want to kindly thank honorable members for finding trust in this report, Mr. Speaker, and we start working, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, and may God bless each and everyone.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Majority, Philip Rono. I hope you will not de-whip Mr. Speaker, because he is also a chairperson of a number of committees. But I can assure you that I will also work hard to ensure that the committees that I'm the chairperson, of course, work effectively and efficiently. So, honorable members, I now rise to put the question that this House adopts the report of the selection committee tabled by the Honorable Philip Rono, the majority leader, on the nomination of members to different committees of the Assembly. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, based on now that the report has been approved, duly approved by the House, I've got some 3 communications to make. Number 1 is that honorable members, as of course requested by the majority leader, On the aspect of training, I direct the office of the clerk, together with the leadership led by the majority leader, to immediately arrange for training for members to build capacity on the various committees, so that members should understand their roles and carry out those roles effectively. Secondly, matters that had already been committed to various committees previously in our past sittings stand committed to the various committees, and we give them new timelines of 14 days from today, so that they can be able to dispense with the matters. So I ask the various chairpersons to liaise with the office of the clerk, so that to find out the pending agendas that you have in your committee, so that you may dispense it within 2 weeks. Thirdly, of course, the report that has been adopted has a proposal that the election of the chairperson budget committee be done immediately after this. I direct the office of the clerk that Tuesday, that is 14th February 2023, of course you know the date very well, I pray that you will be here, that you elect the chairperson as well as the vice chairperson, of which you have clearly said that whoever will be the runners-up will be the vice chair. So it shall be done on 14th February at 10 a.m. I hope you have noted that majority, so that you will be able to communicate to the members. Honorable members, thank you very much. Now, there being no other business, this House stands adjourned until 14 February 2023 at 9:30 a.m. Thank you.
Asante sana.